The fear of watching your skin literally bubble off of its base.
Every doctor that I had, everyone was kind, but they were all perplexed.
A skin finding may actually be the sign of internal pathology. I'm here to reveal it as your SkinTellAgent.
While I was preaching through the book of Job, I wound up breaking out in all these sores all over my body. And it was crazy because they were just getting worse and worse. Couldn't sleep at night, itchy. I was taking like 5 showers a day, which I found out later was the worst thing to do. I go to the emergency room and they just give me some anti-itch stuff and they keep me there for hours, but nothing. I come back home, same stuff. Itchy, can't sleep. I go to the VA and the VA sends me to the burn center in Phoenix. They see me, they look at me, they admit me to the hospital. I'm there for 5 days and they're taking all kinds of biopsies and just nothing. Every doctor that I had, even in the burn center, everyone was kind, but they were all perplexed. One day he comes over to me and he says, "Listen, Pastor," he says, "Dominick, I don't know what to do with this." He says, "There's only 2 doctors that I know that would be able to help you with this. One is Dr. Lindsay Ackerman. I think she says, I think her office is in Phoenix."
I had met Dominick at a time that I could tell he still felt extraordinarily vulnerable and fragile. He had a lot of fear because he had just come out of being hospitalized for several days and still didn't have an answer for why he was there.
I came in and she goes, "I'm not going to give you nothing until I find out what this is. I'm just not going to diagnose it without diagnosing it rightly."
He had started out with red patches on his skin that he described as having evolved fairly suddenly into encompassing multiple different body areas, and those areas then started to blister. When he was hospitalized, he was treated for both the signs on his skin as well as the exquisite and intense itching that he had experienced throughout this evolution.
I couldn't sleep. That was the problem. So I preach. That's what I do. So me having lack of sleep and trying to study and putting God's word together, trying to address a congregation was not easy because I couldn't sleep.
We started out with a biopsy and some lab work, and eventually, and fairly quickly actually, we're able to get to an answer. And once we had, this answer and understanding the physiology behind what he had been going through, it allowed us to implement a treatment modality that could breed success.
And then at that time, she had the diagnosis of what I had. It was a pemphigoid. She's gonna have to tell you what that is.
In dermatology, your skin is just an incredible window. It can tell us so much about what's going on the inside. And at first glance, in talking to Dominick about this experience, it occurred to me it was probably fairly likely, looking at his time in life and what he was describing as intensely symptomatic itch, precluding him really from sleeping or concentrating or doing all of the work that he found so valuable as a pastor. And the red patchiness that evolves into blisters is oftentimes a sign of Bullous Pemphigoid. Pulling those 2 things together allowed me to start at least engaging in the workup for what I believe to be an autoimmune disease, a blistering disorder, where on the inside of someone's bodies, there is this abnormal manufacturing of antibodies that are normally manufactured by the body's immune system to fight infection, but in rare circumstances can actually be manufactured by the person's immune system in a way that attacks a part of the human body. And I think, we've all known what it's like to live with an itch, right? You have a few bug bites on your ankle and thank goodness they're gone in a few days. But to have an unrelenting itch that is brewing all over your body, getting worse in intensity and getting worse in distribution, encompassing at one point nearly one's entire surface area, impacting your ability to take a shower, to exercise, to sleep, to concentrate at your job. We can't diminish the relevance of how impactful itch is on quality of life. Needless to say, how uncomfortable it is to have multiple blisters all over your body, and the fear of watching your skin literally bubble off of its base.
I came in one day, I had so much, the stuff was all over. She didn't want prednisone to be put back in because I guess that was like a mask. It doesn't go to the root of the problem. Dr. Ackerman gave me some medicine that just helped me. I would say by Tuesday or Wednesday, I was itching a lot less. And I started to be able to sleep a little better without, I wasn't taking any medicine or anything. I was able to sleep a little better. And I'll tell you, man, I started getting better. It started to alleviate. And the next time I seen her, there was hardly anything there.
I just want to get a look at everything. It's just remarkable. All of everything is gone. All right, mind if I see what's under here? Nothing. That's great. Nothing on your neck. To be able to be there for Dominick, is one of the main reasons I actually engaged in dermatology. It's such a fascinating reality that we can look at the skin and tell someone what's going on the inside.
She's been so kind that I'm telling you, she's not only a doctor, but she's a caregiver. I mean, really. So right now, because of God's providence and because of me with Dr. Ackerman, this rash is under control.
Dominick is on the other side. We've got him on his drug. He's doing his injections every other week. He, every now and then might have a little ditzel of a bit of red on his skin, which recognizably and reasonably so might elicit a little bit of stress. I get it. But overall, he's just doing brilliantly well. And we're super, super excited to ensure that he gets to live the rest of his life without ever feeling anywhere close to what he was feeling before.